Wali. I know John would be honored to have you receive this award that carries his name. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to greet everyone here on stage. Like I said, this is not what I do, so you gotta get myself together here. Commissioner Bruno, Deputy Inspector Byrne, Abbott Solomon, we already. The New York City CERT Board members of New York City Service Board, my fellow finalists, William Patelli, John Rojas, Lucy Scalero, and Stephen Pelosi. I am truly thankful and appreciate the recognition of the energy, work, and resources and sacrifices that have been made on this CERT journey. I am sure the choice, given the credentials and the commitment of all the finalists, could not have been an easy one. I congratulate each of you, William, John, Lucy, and Stephen, and also commend the nominators. To say I was surprised when I learned I was chosen to receive this award would be an understatement. The late John D. Solomon was a devoted public servant, an active member of his local CERT team, and a passionate advocate of emergency preparedness who labored tirelessly to involve and inform his community. I'm speaking to the graduates now. We're getting something tonight. I'm getting an award, you're getting a certificate. Are we going to take this award and this certificate and just put it on the wall and talk about it? Or are we going to take a page from John Solomon? So how did I get here? I would say having a good foundation, being inspired, trustworthiness, consistency, persistence, patience, being helpful to others, having specific goals and directions, reading, studying, training, following directions, keeping my word, learning from past experiences, planning and keeping my eye on the prize. You could also say I caught a seed from the 1960 Civil Rights Movement to help improve the quality of life for my people in my community. Through the years, I have learned from and contributed to various civic, religious, and community organizations. I also gained knowledge and skills through various professional experiences, which have primarily been in the field of telecommunications. In addition to the public service announcements about emergency preparedness on the radio station WHCR 90.3 FM and serving as one of the organizers of the Harlem Emergency Summit, I could be mistaken, but I think the creation of WHCR's Emergency Broadcast Team and the Harlem Emergency Broadcast Network is probably another important element that allowed me to be selected. WHCR EBT, that's the acronym for WHCR's Emergency Broadcast Team, and the Harlem Emergency Broadcast Network is a community-run emergency and information system that includes the radio station, the community, the village of Harlem, and the surrounding communities, citywide disaster services, and several communication platforms which include text alert, email, social media, and two-way radio. Another important factor in how I got here is surrounding myself and associating with many great people that have contributed to my experience. I would like to mention just a few. I'd start off with my wife, Holly Sullivan, who has maintained my home and my base of operations for the last 50 years. When we start out with CERT, we got to talk about the instructors. The FDNY, EMS, NYPD, and the OEM instructors, like would say, you get to really like these guys. Me to do because of my background. When I say my background, I'm not a bad guy, but you know, coming out of Harlem, coming out of South Bronx, you know, really get along with each other. But you really got to like it. So Linda Ruth Colgan, who was instrumental in the organization of the first Harlem CERT Team, Manhattan 10. I used to fight with her all the time, but in those fights, that's where I learned how to be a team chief. Seriously. Ramona Ponce, Manhattan 10, the winner of last year's John D. Solomon Award, and who, unbeknown to me, nominated me for this award. Wali, Manhattan 10 South, who I have probably worked with the longest. I met him in our first class, and I've been working with him in CERT and out of CERT for a long time. My daughter, Desire Sullivan, who organized Bronx CERT in 2007. Joanne Webb Dixon, who was in the original Bronx CERT class. The team became inactive, and 3 years later, she worked with me tirelessly to bring the team back into fruition. Barrington Polite, who brought the numbers of recruits into the team. Hakeem Yamadi, who assisted me in organizing the first Bronx CERT Unified meeting. Herman Schaefer, who received an Emergency Preparedness Award from President Obama. And he kind of, you know, make sure that I stay in line. Keith Brooks of Citywide Disaster Services, who during Hurricane Sandy watched his own house go underwater while he continued to help others that were more and more of a desperate situation to communicate. Tommy Brennan of Citywide Disaster Services. When he came to work, he didn't come to work looking about when he was getting off. He brought his sleeping bag, he brought everything, and he was there for the whole duration. Kimberly Cunningham. I stepped back from the team chief and took a deputy team chief position because of a project that I am working on, and she took over, and she is carrying the team to a level that I think the Bronx, that OEM will be proud of. Angela Harding, the general manager of radio station WHCR, who saw the need for Harlem Community Radio Station to be more helpful to its listeners during emergencies and disasters. WHCR Emergency Broadcast Team, and especially the WEBT, that's the acronym for that, leadership, led by Bob Ponce, who is the team chief. He's in Manhattan 10 CERT South. Audrey Adams, deputy team chief, Manhattan 10. Reggie James, the planning section chief. Stuart Reed, the logistics section chief. Elsie Turner, the operations section chief. She is also part of Manhattan 10. And Jessica Pelite, the administration section chief, and Radcliffe Simpson, the finance section chief. This award, I really feel, is basically a report card, a measure of our efforts. So the award that I got, the certificate that you get, is a measurement of the accomplishments that we have done in the effort are resulting in meaningful contributions to the CERT program and our community and this great city. I share the John D. Solomon Award for service in the community emergency preparedness education with those I mentioned and others that I didn't mention. There's others in this room that should have been on that list, but the list would just be too long. I am humbled and honored to receive it with the knowledge that there is still much more work to be done. Thank you. I'll be at the refreshment.
Oh, okay.
I got this award for one basic reason. Wali is a good person, and Wali has done good things in the city and continues to do them. Well, you deserve every bit.